Welcome back to Eric the Entrepreneur, guys. As you see, another obvious topic. This is a big one. This is one of my favorite ones. This is one that everybody should be taught on way before they get into anything else. Of course, I've ordered my videos a certain way, but this one is a big one. This is one that you really need to pay attention to. If you have paper, take notes and get ready to apply these things to your life. But anyways, before we go into this, I'm gonna kind of give you a little background knowledge on credit, like I always do with every topic. Just to kind of let you know what it is if you have no clue at all. What is credit? Credit is using money to buy or pay for something without using your money at all. An example of that would be you using a credit card to pay for shoes. Of course, you got to pay that money back, but not right away. A bigger example of this would be the United States and its budget deficit. That's how our economy works. That's the way we've chosen to go. And it's the reason we're in so much debt. To put that in a simpler term, the government uses more money than they get paid in taxes by us to fund their budget deficit. While this sounds horrible, this has happened something like 99% of the last 50 years. We've been in a budget deficit. And this is proven to work because we've been the #1 economy for the last 100 years as far as the world economy goes. Personal credit is a little bit different because you have to have a great credit history. Obviously, like I said, in America, it doesn't seem like we have the best credit history. I think something like 3.5 trillion was our projected deficit for the 2020 fiscal year, which we're still in until this summer. So that doesn't sound great, especially when some of us have just a little bit of debt and it causes our credit to be horrible. But basically, with personal credit, lenders and banks need to basically know who you are before they allow themselves to give you money. This is why credit reports are so important. Credit reports track things like our habits, our debt repayments, and our previous loans. And this will determine and help banks and lenders with risk management before they let us walk out of the bank with a check or cash or whatever it may be. So before we go on, I want you to know credit is not a bad thing. Credit is why 90% of Americans are able to buy homes and vehicles and so many other things through financing. And it can be bad, but if you are diligent with your use and know how to use it, know when to use it, then you'll be just fine. And so let's break credit down and continue. What is a credit score? A credit score is a number that ranges between 300 and 850, 300 being the low end, 850 being absolutely perfect. It basically depicts a consumer history and credit worthiness for individuals like me and you, and allows us to be able to lend or to have a lender to borrow money, whether it's a bank or something private or personal, however you find your loan. A lot of private loans won't be based off of your credit score. They'll be based off your character or whoever knows you and whoever's lending the money. So obviously the higher the score, the more attractive of a lender you are. And so you want to shoot for the highest score. And there's a few ways to get into that. And I'm not going to necessarily get into that today, but I'm definitely going to give you the outline of what your credit score is made up of and how they calculate it. So again, on that credit report, things that are taken into consideration are your number of opening accounts, your total debt levels, and your repayment history. These all, they make sense. It's pretty common knowledge on what exactly they look at. But in my opinion, these are fair, but it doesn't always work out the way we want it to. This is why I said you got to know when to use credit, know when not to, and know how much to use, because all of these things are taken into consideration. Underuse isn't good, overuse isn't good, and so there's kind of a soft spot that you have to hit when it comes to using credit. One of my mentors, a guy that I never even met, but that I listen to often, always says that credit is a tool. It's like a chainsaw. And when he says that, basically he means that it's a really good tool. You can get a lot of work done with credit, but it's also the most dangerous thing that you can possibly handle as far as a tool goes. So while you can cut a tree down as fast as you possibly can, you could also cut a limb off, and you should look at credit exactly like that. I'm gonna read this straight off the slide for you. So you got types of loans, length of credit history, credit utilization, and percent of available credit used. These are all big, and I put these up here right away because these are the biggest percentages as far as what makes up your credit score. They're gonna look at these first, and if your history with these aren't good, then you're gonna have derogatory marks on your credit report. So the name of this score is your FICO score, as you've seen. If you don't know what that is, as you see on the bottom, the Fair Isaac Corporation. I won't get into that name tonight. It's not really important. I know this is educational, but we're gonna move on and continue with the actual stuff that matters. All right, so more on breaking down your credit score. Again, I'm gonna go right off the slide on this one because the specifics are super simple. Take notes if you can. So an excellent score is between 800 and 850. Very good, 740 to 799. good 670 to 739, and after that, it's not good at all. You're not really going to get a whole lot of chances. There are a lot of ways to bring your credit score up, and actually there's going to be a part 2 of this video where I talk more about it, and you'll learn some more. But as far as this goes, this is basically the scale and how it's used. You want to shoot for 700 and above, of course, but everybody wants to be in the 800 range, but things slow down once you get to that point. There are very few people that have an 800 plus, 850 credit score, but those people are considered to have what I call bulletproof credit. There's not a whole lot of no's that they're going to find when it comes to having to finance something to get to the point of ownership. The higher the credit score, the lower the interest rate, and that means the lower amount of money you're going to pay outside of the actual amount that you owe when it comes to ownership. You're gonna pay a lot less, and that's always a better deal, right? Higher credit score also means less money down. The higher your credit score, the lower money you'll be required when it comes to getting a loan to help you get past the principal or to just pay your loan off anyway. Here's more specifics on calculations. Your 3 major reporting agencies are Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Yes, I know a lot of people always wonder, like, are they even accurate? Yeah and no. There's going to be a lot of discrepancies, but you are allowed to dispute a lot of different things. But just for time's sake, we're going to go over what are the 5 main factors that they consider and the percentages on how they consider them. So you got your payment history. Again, how well you paid back, if you pay back in a timely manner, and whoever it is that you paid it to. Your total debt and utilization, how many times you're swiping your card, how much you owe, how much you haven't paid, and then also how much of your credit that you were allowed to use did you actually use. This is why I say your use of credit, knowing when to use it and how to use it, is very important. Your length of credit history, I highly recommend, if you don't have credit history, that you need to go apply for some type of credit ASAP. And by some type of credit, I'm going to say you need to get a secured credit card. Credit cards are okay if you know how to use them diligent, but a secured credit card is the way to go. You're basically loaning yourself money. This is a very simple way of doing it, and it works just like a debit card, which you use every day anyway. Your types of credit. There's a lot of different types that I'll get into on the other video, and that's one of the smaller ones that's taken into consideration. Your new credit and inquiries. You got hard and soft inquiries, and those differ for a lot of different items and the types of credit that you're applying for. And so you got to watch out for what you're out there doing, whether you're going to buy a car, a house, or whatever it is, and they're running your credit. They're gonna run your credit to figure out what it is, and that actually will shake your score up a little bit. So basically, your credit score is based on you and your history with money. If you've used any credit at all, then you have a credit score. If you haven't used it, you do have a credit score, but it's not going to be very good because your credit history isn't any good. And as you see, the percentages on the screen will tell you how much they actually affected. Before we go on to the next slide, credit is basically about your discipline, your priorities, your patience, and your focus. You got to have a balance between all of those. And if you do not, then your credit score will definitely show that. And lenders will not look your way when it comes to getting a loan or starting life in a way of you actually purchasing something to appease your lifestyle. All right, well, that's it. Like you see on the screen, video 2 will be uploaded soon. I need you guys to share this video, especially before video 2 comes out. It may be a couple days, but I'm going to get it to you guys. I just need you guys to continue to share, like, and remain loyal. I appreciate it. This is good information. But until the next video, I'll see you guys later.